Workout number 1 kicks off the 6-string arpeggio challenge. It is a little tough playing arpeggios on all 6 strings, but at the same time, it's very rewarding once you get them going because they sound great. So we're going to start off in the 13th position. We'll start in the key of F. We're going to play F major. And then we're going to come down and we're going to play another major arpeggio. And that's how it's going to be set up, where we'll keep playing those pairs. So remember, the sound order here is major, and then we go into minor, but then we jump over to augmented, and then we end it off with diminished. So let's take a look at how some of the things are going to pan out here. So starting in the 13th position, we'll kick things off with an F major arpeggio right here. You can clearly see the 6-string 5th chord that outlines. That's very cool when that happens with an arpeggio, and it should happen a lot since you're playing the notes in that chord. But this one's super obvious. Now in here you're going to have 2 rolls. You're going to have one right there and right there. As you ascend, shouldn't be that much trouble if you have the rolling technique down pat. When you come back down, right there, again, shouldn't be too much trouble once you get rolling, feeling comfortable under your fingers. However, when you get down to the lower strings right here, you have to be very careful that you don't play the 3rd of the chord and you're trying to get to the root of the chord with the pre-roll that you're going to lift to the 5th and do this. It's a common mistake. I even still do it every once in a while. You have to make a very conscious effort to clearly, not do what I just did, to clearly come down and play that root. So it's a little tough. Don't get frustrated. I'm just letting you know that it's going to take some work. So that's F major. That's how you're going to start. You will come down 3 whole steps down to B major. You'll play the same arpeggio. That's how we're going to make the movements here in level 2. So we'll play a major arpeggio, and then we'll come down 3 whole steps, or which is also called a tritone. And we'll play another major arpeggio. Again, it's a great sound for a major, going from one chord to the next. Something really cool. We always hear certain intervals. This one's just, changing it up and making something sound interesting. So I'll come back to the 13th position and start playing the series of minor arpeggios. That's going to happen throughout every workout in level 2. The root is going to be the same for the first arpeggio. Then when you play its partner down below, it'll be in a different key. So check this out. So after I play F minor, which, by the way, has some rolls. We have that same roll we played in major between the 5th and the root. And then we have that triple roll on the top that we first saw in level 1, where we were playing the first inversion arpeggios. And we did this in A minor and, did the series coming down. So whatever technique you've developed, you're going to be able to pull it out here and keep working on it or, refine it. So we play F minor. And we do our thing with that. Come ascend and descend. When we come down the neck to play its partner, we're not going to go down to B. We're not going to go down 3 whole steps. We're only going to go down 2.5 steps, and we're going to play C minor. So we'll be coming down to, you could think of it this way, F is the 1 chord, and C minor is the 5 chord, or if you want to think of F as the 4 chord, C minor is the 1 chord, however you want to hear it or theoretically visualize it. The point is, it's a great sound, and it's a common change for minor chords to do this. And at the same time, once again, I'm trying to take you out of the cyclical tendencies that arpeggio study can bring. I want you to keep doing the same thing over and over again and keep, making changes in parallel in the same keys, where you go F major to B major, F minor to B minor, etc. So constantly trying to expand the vision and try to playing as many different arpeggios in different keys as we can to drive home this. What are you playing here? You're playing 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, etc. And doing that and doing a different formulas. I'm trying to get you to see the numbers and not worry so much about the note names. Of course, those are important, but the numbers is the ultimate system. Okay, after minor, you're going to play augmented. In a full 6-string version of augmented, in this particular instance, you'll once again start on F in the 13th position, and you'll play through this. You'll see here, you have an instance where you have 2 notes on 1 string. It's just necessary to do that because otherwise the fingering just won't work. There is no fingering to not do that. Let's play augmented. So right there on the B string, coming from sharp 5 to 1, and then catching that 3rd on the top. You have a roll right there, and there you go. There's F augmented. Now, you play this fingering for augmented, and instead of coming down 2.5 steps, you're only going to come down 2 steps, and you're going to play C sharp augmented. Why are we doing that? because we're keeping in line with the symmetrical, the symmetrical foundation of augmented. We're going to its next chord tone. So we're playing F augmented and going to C augmented. So this works out really good. You play the major arpeggios down a tritone. Great sound, kind of a tritone subtype sound. You play minor, and you go down that 2.5 steps, or that fourth, very common change for minor. For augmented, you go down 2 whole steps, and you get that major third symmetry thing happening. Now, you end it off with diminished. And the diminished arpeggio, which will be played like this. There's that string skip we worked on in level 1. Diminished will go down a minor third, just like it did in level 1. Why? Because a lot of what diminished is built upon is minor thirds. So it works out really good. All the changes really lend themselves to the sounds. When you're ready, I'll meet you over at 50 beats per minute, and we'll start playing all these root position arpeggios just the way I described. So make sure that you learn it at 50. You deal with your rolls. You get everything played clearly. No notes running into each other. All good stuff. Once you do that, we'll play through 50 beats per minute for 4 minutes. And then I want you to jump into your shed and practice and get ready to get up to 80 beats per minute and then work up to 110 beats per minute. So let's do it. Let's play it clean, play it slow, and also be careful with those stretches. I'll see you over at 50 beats per minute when you're ready.